In section 9.3, we're going to talk about area of rectangular and irregular polygons. And an irregular polygon is a shape that's where you divide the given shape up into other shapes that you know how to find the area of. So you can use those shapes that you know the area of, add them all together, and find the area. So in our first example, we are going to look at an irregular shape, and you're going to have to draw it in. So if we have an irregular polygon that looks something like this. And we want to find the area of it. So if we are given these dimensions, we know that this right here is 8 inches, 3 inches, 5 inches, and 4 inches. And we want to find the area of this whole shape. So the first thing we can do is to break it up into two shapes that we know how to find the area. So if we draw a dotted line down here, now we have a rectangle and a triangle. And we know how to find the area of both those shapes. So if we just look at the rectangle first, the area of a rectangle is length times width. And in this case, we would plug those in. Our length is 3 and our width is 8. So we would get 24 inches squared for the area of a rectangle. For a triangle, we know the area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. So in order to find the area of our triangle, we need to figure out what the base and the height of our triangle is. So if we look at our triangle, we know our base is right here. And if we want to know what that is, we know that this piece right here is 3 inches from up here. So if we want to find that piece of our triangle, we have 5 inches total minus 3 inches. That gives me 2 inches for my base. And then I need to find the height of the triangle, which is right here. Well, if I know that this piece up here is 4 inches, right here is 4, and that whole side needs to equal 8, then this must be 4 inches as well. So now I can plug those numbers in. I have 1/2 my base, which is 2, times my height, which is 4. When I type those in my calculator, I get 1/2 times 2 is 1, times 4 is 4 inches squared. Okay, so now I have the area of my triangle and my rectangle, so my last step is to add them together. So I have 24 inches squared for my rectangle plus 4 inches squared for my triangle, and that gives me 28 inches squared for my whole irregular polygon. Okay, let's try another example. Number 2, again, you're going to have to draw the shape in. So if we start with a irregular polygon that looks like this, and we want to find the area, first thing we're going to do is divide it into two shapes that we know the area of. And I'm also going to write my lengths on here, so this will be given information for you. So just go ahead and label these sides. We have 12 feet, 10 feet, 6 feet here, 5 feet here, let's see, 6 feet and 15 feet. Okay, to find the area of my first rectangle, I'm going to call it rectangle number 1. I have this be number 1 and number 2. My area is length times width. So when I plug those in, I have 10 times 12 for my first rectangle. 10 times 12 gives me 120 feet squared. Then for my second rectangle, I still have the same formula, length times width for my area, but now I have a different length. I have 5 and 6. And that gives me 5 times 6 is 30 feet squared. Now I can add those two together. 120 plus 30 gives me 150 feet squared total for my entire polygon. Okay? Now, irregular polygons, remember, those are polygons where all of our sides are not the same. If we have a regular polygon, that means we have a shape where all sides are the same length. So if we look at a polygon like a hexagon, hexagon has 6 sides that are all the same length. We can use this area formula right here, where our area is 1/2 the perimeter times the apothem. And the apothem is the distance from the center of our polygon to the side. So if we have a dotted line right here, you can see this line right here is our apothem. So it's the distance from the center of that regular polygon. Remember, has to be regular, so all the sides are the same. The distance from the center to the regular polygon, the side of the regular polygon. So let's look at a few examples. Example number 3 says to find the area of each regular polygon. So again, we have to draw it in here, and this time we have a pentagon. So a pentagon has 5 sides, and they're all the same length. Let's try that again. Okay, so this is our pentagon. We have the center and our apothem goes right down the middle here. Okay, in this case our sides are all the same, so I'm going to mark it like this. And we are given that our side length right here is 23.2 meters. And our apothem, this distance right here, is 16 meters. Okay, so our formula for this polygon, this is all given information on our sides right now, so now I'm using that given information and I'm going to plug it into our equation. So we have 1/2 the perimeter times the apothem. First thing I need to do is find the perimeter. So if I add up all these sides, I'm going to have 5 of those 23.2 meter sides. So if I take 23.2 times 5, that gives me 116. So now I can plug that in above. I have 1/2 times 116 times my apothem, which is 16. Plug that into my calculator, and my total area is 928 meters squared. Okay, let's look at number 4. Number 4 says we have a regular hexagon. So right there, that tells me 6 sides. with a side length of 8 meters and an apothem of 6.9 meters. Okay, so to find the area, I need 1/2 the perimeter times apothem my perimeter is going to be 8 meters times how many sides I have, which is 6, and that gives me 48 for my perimeter. So now I can take that 48, plug it in up here. I get 1/2 48 times 6.9. That gives me a final answer of 165.6 meters squared.